What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to World Vision and Science, and today I'll be explaining about the startup of Boeing 737. So without any ado, let's get into the video. So we have loaded into the simulator, and here's the Boeing 737. Here's the cockpit of the Boeing 737. So the first thing that we need to do is to keep the DC selector or the direct current selector to battery and the AC or the alternative current selector to ground power. Okay, done. And then we need to switch on battery. Yeah, so after doing this, we have provided electrical power to the plane. Now we need to switch on the ground power. Normally aircraft generates power on its own, but when parked, it is connected to the airport's power. So this is what basically ground power does. It doesn't drain the battery of the plane. Now switching on the logo and the wing lights. After doing so, we have to switch on the window heat, which will not allow ice to form on windows and will make it less brittle. Then we have to switch on the forward panel light, which in my case was already switched on. Then we have to switch on pedestal hood lights. Next we have to turn on the compass lights and then the cockpit dome lights. Then we have to switch on the captain chart lights, which will switch on this light on the top. Moving on to the next part, we have to do some fire protection tests. So what they basically do is they extinguish fire set on a particular engine. So as they are working, we have to switch off the master caution and the warning button. Okay, the fire protection test has been completed. Then next we have to do some light test and brightness control test, which is okay, that's completed. Then moving on to the stall warning test. Okay, completed. Next part is the FMS, which I'll explain in another video. It's not complete as I'm learning about it, so here's a small clip on it. Next, we have to switch on the fasten seatbelt switch, which switches on the seatbelt signs in the passenger cabin. Then we have to switch on the left fuel pump. Then switch on the electric hydraulic pump. And after doing these steps, switch on the APU bleed air. Next part is setting cabin pressure, that is the land altitude, which is about here like 20. And the cruise altitude will be about of 6,000. After that, the next part is to turn on the APU or the auxiliary power unit. After turning on the APU, you have to see the EGT meter going up. Then turn on the APU generators, and then we have to switch off the ground power, which we switched on earlier. Moving on to the engine starting part, we have to switch on the AC power selector to APU generator, and then switch on the engine 1 and engine 2 bleed air, which will conduct medium to high pressure air from engine to different part of the aircraft. Switch on the engine hydraulic pump. Switch on the right and the central fuel tank pump. Then switch on the anti-collision lights. Switch off the parking brake and request for a pushback. Then we have to switch on the right engine, start it to GRD. Wait for it to reach 25 N2 mark and then start the mixture. As you can see, engine number 2 is starting. generator 1 and 2 on. Here's the autopilot setting which we do after the FMS. Switch off the AP generators and switch the DC selector to Gen 1. Switch off the APU and the APU bleed air. We have to turn on probe heat. And the yaw damper. Moving on to the next part, we have to test ailerons, flaps, etc. First, let's check the rudder if it's running properly. Okay, test completed, it's running properly. We'll test the flaps, put to 17 degrees. Testing the spoilers, which provide them with the brake or drag. Yes, they are working pretty well. Test completed. As we have to taxi to the runway, we have to switch on the taxi lights. So we have lined up with the runway properly and set our flaps to 5 degrees, and let's start the takeoff. V1 rotate. Positive rate. Gears up. That's all for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a video. This is Sam signing off. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.